This is another very, very difficult question in this passage and on this test. I think that this is a weird passage that you're unlikely to see. This is maybe one of the most difficult passages in any writing section I've ever seen, so hopefully you don't have this many hard questions again. I don't really have a strategy here. I would say trust your instincts, but I don't think anyone has any instincts concerning any of these words. It really is a combination of a vocab question and a little bit of a diction question. So remember, with vocab, we're supposed to pick common words, right? We're supposed to pick things that we would know. So words that are too informal or slangy, we want to avoid those. We want to instead go with words that are academic, that we could use in an essay for school, but that aren't too fancy or too pedantic, that go too far the other direction. So why does that help me? Well, first of all, the word drag on, that is too slangy, okay? We say that a lot, like, oh, that's such a drag, right? Something you don't want to do, or, like, in these and other cases, exposure from reporters has served as an important drag on malfeasance. Like, we're talking about political corruption. It's not like a drag. Like, it's just a weird word. So again, maybe that you have instincts that tell you that, but I don't know. It's a tough word, and reproof isn't really helpful either. That's kind of hard. That maybe sounds like a pedantic word. So you kind of have this weird mix of the two in there. Malfeasance also is a hard word, so that doesn't help. But that malfeasance just means like bad actions, I guess. So again, maybe instincts are telling you something like blockade feels weird. Like a blockade is when like ships or a navy blockades a harbor or a coast to prevent other ships from getting in or out. So it's a very specific word. It would be weird to say that we're blockading malfeasance. It would also be weird to say that we're scolding malfeasance. Like you scold a child that's misbehaving. It just seems weird to talk about like corrupt government officials as being scolded. It's odd. It's an instinct thing. This is where I think most people, make the right decision, but get it wrong. Because to me, both condemnation and interference are academic words that fit the right tone of what a writing passage should be. Condemnation is better. Interference is a little weird for the situation. To interfere with malfeasance, it's strange, but you might have to let it slide. Whereas rebuke feels very pedantic, but it's the right answer. And the reason is less about the words, the big words, and more about the little words. Interference to malfeasance, right? We can hear this maybe a little bit better if we remove the second part of the choice. Exposure from reporters has served as an important interference to malfeasance. Maybe if I said like interference with malfeasance or interference to just sounds kind of weird to me. And again, we're not trying to interfere with malfeasance. We're trying to prevent it or stop it. And that's kind of what deterrent and rebuke mean. It is an important deterrent to malfeasance, meaning we're deterring people from doing bad things. We're making it less likely that they do it in the first place. And then rebuke means like punishment, but in a way that's a little bit more academic. I know it seems like a pedantic word, but it's a word you probably want to know. Rebuke is to kind of like punish or scold, but in a way that is more formal and applies more to something like an official, a government official. So rebuke to malfeasance actually makes sense. This is frustrating because, I don't know what you would study to get this kind of question. I don't think even in this case, like reading more or watching more television in English is going to help you. I think this is just a really weird situation. And so I wouldn't worry about it. This is a hard passage, a lot of weird questions. It's unlikely that you'll see this many hard questions in one passage again. So don't lose any sleep over it. Do the best you can. There will always be like 3 or 4 that are just all about your gut. Hopefully you get lucky and your gut is right and you have strong instincts. If not, pick the best thing that sounds good and just move on. Don't spend a lot of time on this question. Spend time on the places where you can apply a rule or use a dumb summary to actually prove your answer. This is really just about feeling, and I don't think anybody has a strong feeling about this question.